Martell is supposed to be back in court. And this hearing has fans buzzing because, if you remember, Martell was a no-show the last time on May 25th. That absence raised a lot of eyebrows. People were left wondering, was it a strategic move? Was he trying to stall the process, or was he simply not ready to face the reality of his failed custody attempt? Either way, the court doesn't take kindly to parents not showing up when the well-being of children is on the line. That's why this August 18th date feels so crucial. Speculation is running wild right now. Some fans believe Martell will absolutely show up this time because missing a second hearing would look incredibly bad for him. Others think he may be planning a new angle. Maybe some last-minute legal tactic to drag Melody back into the spotlight and make her look bad. After all, Martell has been accused before of using the courts not as a tool for co-parenting, but as a weapon of control. And if that's true, then August 18th could be another attempt to throw Melody off her game, even if it doesn't actually help his case in the long run. The bigger question is, what could he try now? Some believe Martell might bring up Melody's busy schedule with her brand, her public appearances, or even her music career, suggesting that she doesn't have enough time for the kids. But anyone who's been paying attention knows that's a weak argument. Fans see her with her children, constantly school events, sports, dance recitals, family outings. She's there. And the truth is, the kids look happy, healthy, and loved. That's hard to argue against in front of a judge. Others think Martell may try to lean on more this time, maybe trying to present their family image as stable and ready for the kids. But let's be honest, fans aren't buying it. And the court probably won't either. You can't just slap together a few social media posts and call it proof of stability, especially when so much of what we see online feels forced, reactionary, and messy. If Martell brings that into court, it could actually backfire, making him look more concerned with appearances than with the actual well-being of the children. Still, the possibility of Martell trying something new to hurt Melody can't be ignored. This man has shown before that he doesn't mind stirring up drama if it means getting under her skin. The question is, will the court see through it again? Fans are betting that they will, especially since Melody has been consistent, calm, and focused on what truly matters. If Martell tries another stunt, it may only add to the growing perception that his custody fight has more to do with ego than with parenting. And at the end of the day, judges tend to look at stability, consistency, the children's best interests, and that's where Melody shines. So August 18th is shaping up to be a big moment. Will Martell finally face the court and take responsibility for the case he started, or will this be another attempt to drag things out and make Melody's life more difficult? Whatever happens, fans are watching closely. Because if May 25th was a warning sign, August 18th might just be the day where we see whether Martell is serious about parenting or just serious about control. And either way, it's going to tell us a lot about where this battle is headed next. Melody Shari is living her best life, laughing with her kids, and walking in peace. And honestly, it's beautiful to watch. I want you to stay with me all the way through this video, because we are about to get into why Martell Holt's full custody move failed, why Melody is still thriving, and why this whole situation says way more about the kind of people they are today. Trust me, by the end of this video, you're going to see the full picture in a way that makes perfect sense. Now, let's start with Melody, because when you look at her life today compared to just a few years ago, the growth is undeniable. Back during the chaos of her marriage falling apart, we all remember how heavy she looked. You could see the stress weighing on her, the battles she was fighting in silence, the betrayal, the public embarrassment. But fast forward to now, that weight is gone. Her smile is brighter, her energy is lighter, and the way she shows up for her kids is exactly why so many fans are calling her an inspiration. Every time she posts those clips of her children, whether it's them dancing around in the living room, laughing on the way to school, or just being goofy together, you can feel the authenticity. It's not staged, it's not for show, it's just real family love. And that's the kind of content that warms people's hearts and reminds everyone that despite the storm, she's created a safe, happy home for her babies. Meanwhile, on the other side of things, Martell Holt is out here still trying to figure out his next move. And let's be real, from what fans are saying, it's not looking like the man who once thought he was 10 steps ahead of everyone. Instead, he's looking like someone who played a game and lost. See, when Martell filed for full custody, a lot of people believed it was never truly about the kids, was about control, was about painting Melody in a negative light, trying to prove to the courts and the public that she was somehow unfit. Even though all the evidence we've seen points to her being the exact opposite. And the fact that this move failed, the fact that Melody still has her children thriving by her side, is proof enough that his plan didn't go the way he thought it would. Stick with me, because later in this video we're going to break down exactly why this custody battle backfired on Martell and why fans believe it only exposed his true motives. Before we get deeper into that, let's talk about the bigger picture. Because while Melody is glowing, Martell's current situation looks a lot less glamorous. He's been spotted playing house with Arione Curry, but from the whispers floating around, that situation isn't giving anyone fairy tale vibes. The public isn't embracing them as a couple, and honestly, it's hard to sell a happy family image when the foundation of your relationship is built on broken trust and years of mess. Every time Martell and Arione try to present themselves like a united front, it falls flat. It feels forced. It feels performative. And fans are quick to remind them that they can't rewrite history just because they want to. That's the thing about public memory ides long. People remember the cheating, the interviews, the receipts, the heartbreak. And they're not just going to forget because Martell posts a smiling selfie. And here's where the contrast gets even sharper. Melody isn't addressing any of this. She's not wasting her breath on subliminals or shady comments. Instead, she's focusing on her career, booking appearances, expanding her brand. Most importantly, pouring into her kids. That's the ultimate silent flex. She doesn't have to announce that she's winning her life, shows it. At school events, sports games, dance recitals, and family outings, and you can see the joy on her children's faces. They're thriving. They're getting to witness firsthand what resilience looks like, what strength looks like, what it means to rebuild after betrayal and still come out stronger. And fans are eating it up. Every time Melody posts, her comments are filled with love, with support, with people calling her a strong mama and an inspiration. Now, let's circle back to Martell because this is where things really start to unravel. Filing for full custody was a bold move. On paper, it might have looked like he was fighting for his kids. But when you dig deeper, it becomes clear that it was more about ego than anything else. If you truly believe your co-parent is unfit, you bring receipts. You bring facts. You bring evidence that the court can't ignore. But Martell didn't have that. What he had was bitterness. What he had was frustration. And what he had was a desire to maintain some form of control over Melody. And the court saw through it. That's why Melody is still thriving with her children today. That's why fans look at Martell and see someone who's scrambling to hold on to an image that keeps slipping away. Meanwhile, Arione is over on social media doing what she does best, dropping cryptic posts, throwing subliminals, and trying to clap back at fans. But instead of coming across as unbothered, it comes across as bitter. People see through it. Fans are quick to point out that if your entire online presence revolves around reacting to your man's ex-wife, then maybe you're not as secure as you claim. And that's the irony, isn't it? Melody isn't even acknowledging them. She's too busy living her life. That's why fans love her even more, because she doesn't have to respond to win. Her life is the response. Now, I know some of y'all might be wondering, what about the rest of the cast? What do Letitia Scott and Marcia Scott think? What about Kimmy Scott and Morris Scott? What about Destiny Payton and Stormy Steele? Here's the thing, this custody battle and Melody's globe isn't just something happening in isolation. The whole cast has seen the transformation. Back when Melody and Martell were still together, the drama consumed everything. Letitia and Marsa were constantly being pulled into mess. Kimmy and Morris had their fair share of awkward moments, and Destiny was always in the middle of something. Even Stormy, who came in later, got pulled into the whirlwind. But now, with Melody standing on her own, thriving as a single mother and businesswoman, the energy has shifted. People respect her more. And for Martell, that shift is noticeable.